Hello, thank you for joining me. Welcome to the vlog. Today I'm going to be riding the Upper Tampa Bay Trail. This trail is over the very north part of Tampa Bay proper, the bay itself. It's off Hillsborough Avenue. It's just east of Oldsmar. This trail is unique in that it's kind of divided into two sections. There's a southern part and a northern part. And unfortunately, there's about a 3-mile gap in between where you have to get on a 2-lane, fairly busy road. So when I ride this part, I always try to ride it on like a Sunday morning when the traffic is pretty low. There are plans to connect the trail, but as far as I know, it hasn't happened yet. Anyway, it should be a fun ride. It's very scenic, lots to see. So let's go have an outdoor adventure. Okay, so here's a trail map of the Upper Tampa Bay Trail, Peterson Road Park. Now, what that means is, let's see, I started down here, this Hillsborough Avenue. So I started off down here, right up here. This was the other trailhead, the Channel Park trailhead. Came up and around, and now I have come to here. Peterson. Unfortunately, from here to here is a gap. They have not built this yet. So I'm going to have to come over to Gun Highway. It's about 3 miles. Take Gun Highway north to Van Dyke. We're going to pick up the trail. This says future, but this part is already built. I know that for a fact. So I'll then come up here over on Lutz Lake Fern and go to about this point, where it hooks up with the Suncoast Trail and goes up the right next to the Veterans Expressway. And then I'll just come back around. This part is built. This part is still a gap. So anyway, there you go. There are several trail access points all up and down the length of this trail. Some of them, like this one, are little more than just a parking lot, whereas others have full bathrooms and picnic facilities. All of them, however, do require a $2 parking fee, but that covers you for all day. So this is a little overlook along the canal I've been following. This is Channel A. That's literally the name of it. Somebody doesn't have a whole lot of imagination when they named it. This way you're looking basically south, and about another mile and a half, it drains out into the very northern part of Tampa Bay. And if you go look at it this way, up here, and another couple of miles maybe, it will join into a little creek called Rocky Creek. Now, Rocky Creek starts about 25 miles north of here in a neighborhood, I can't think of the name of it, but it's up by Van Dyke Road, and flows basically in a southerly direction, where it empties out into this channel. And you'll see a little later in the video where the Rocky Creek becomes Channel A. The water at this point is flowing toward you and flows down into Tampa Bay. Not sure what that is. Could be a shark, or a redfish, or a mullet. I'll go with shark. It sounds more exciting. Hope you can see that. Those are sharks of some kind. So here we have a little spillway on this canal that I've been following. I don't think the canal has anything fancy. Whoops, wait a minute. There's a local going for a swim. As I was saying, I don't think this canal has a fancy name. I think it's literally like canal number 1 or something like that. And I'll have to check and see where it starts and comes from. It's flowing toward the camera here, obviously, and then goes down this way where it eventually drains out into Tampa Bay, Upper Tampa Bay. So this is a scenic little oxbow in what I'm pretty sure is still Rocky Creek. Very scenic. And if you look close enough, you can get my finger in the way here. Where's my finger? There it is. Right there. Fish. And over there. Fish. Of course, they're just brown hoplows, very invasive species. Very scenic. Just up ahead, another quarter mile or so, is the end of the southern segment of this trail. It ends at Peterson Park, which I pointed out at the beginning of the video. Now I have to get over onto Gun Highway and go for about 3 miles, and I decided to film that in a time lapse. If you look straight ahead, you'll see a brown and white sign indicating a hiking trail. That's because this section of the Upper Tampa Bay Trail is traveling along the western boundary of the Brooker Creek Headwaters Preserve, 1,100-acre tract of land that is laced with a variety of hiking trails. These trails will take you through swampy lowlands, oak tree hammocks, pine tree forests, and open grasslands. The Brooker Creek Headwaters Preserve is not to be confused with the Brooker Creek Preserve, which is a much larger tract of land a few miles west of here. This stretch of the trail, which runs parallel to Lutz Lake Fern Road, is built on an elevated boardwalk. The designers made an elevated boardwalk because the surrounding land is fairly wet and swampy for most of the year, and a boardwalk would minimize the environmental impact of the surrounding area. So, I have reached the end of the Upper Tampa Bay Trail, which I came this way. Here's the end. And it merges directly into the Suncoast Trail. The Suncoast Parkway is over here. And although I have not ridden the Suncoast Trail, and looking at maps, it basically looks like it just parallels the interstate there, the parkway, for quite a ways. I don't exactly know how long, but At this point, I turn around and I head back. So I'm at the Lutz Lake Fern trailhead, taking a break here at a picnic pavilion. And so far I've ridden right at 16 miles, but that's going all the way out to the Suncoast Parkway and back. So that added about maybe a mile and a half, something like that. I think to this point from right off Hillsborough Avenue is 14 and a half miles, something like that. It's been a beautiful day. Gosh, nowhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be. Got some high clouds, which kind of keeps the sun at bay a little bit. And it's just been a very, very pretty ride. I have heard rumors and horror stories about some kind of oak tree monster that hides out beside the trail and jumps up out of the bushes, ready to grab unsuspecting bikers and hikers. But I've never really put a whole lot of stock in horror stories like that. So at this point, I'm just backtracking along the trail I came up on, headed back toward the car. Riding back down Gun Highway. Up and over the overpass at Citrus Park. Back underneath Lineball Avenue and up and over Rocky Creek. And finally back to the parking lot and back to my car.